Yeah, this episode's not going to suck like the last 100 or so. This one's going to rock with the nice guys on business.
So one other thing I noticed, Tom, I got to point out, I see you're wearing shorts, and I think there's one of two things going on here. Either you have a hydraulic leg, or you put on way too much SPF 500 sunscreen just on the one leg. Which would that be?
You burned up that motherfucker, Tom.
No, it's hydraulic. You're right.
This is Tom's hydraulic leg.
That is. You're trying to see if you broke the micro. Broke my mic.
The nice guys apologize for any inconvenience that this podcast has caused anyone. By the way, is there anyone listening who knows how to fly a plane? Need an education on how to grow your business? The nice guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Welcome back, Funkin' Fans. Doug and I are actually sitting next to each other. I know every episode it feels like that is the case, but it's usually not. And now that it really is, he wants to turn and look the other way because he's embarrassed that I'm sitting right next to him.
I don't want to look at you. I can't look at you. I've spent the entire week sleeping with you. I don't want to look at you.
We are the nice guys on Southwest. That noise that you're hearing in the background is the airplane engines. If they stop, then we love you all very much. Thank you very much. We are recording a podcast.
Hey,
Flight, I forgot the number, but we're going back to Baltimore.
This is definitely the friendliest fight ever I've been.
Friendliest fight.
It's the friendliest flight I've ever been on. Yeah,
well, it's Southwest. They're all friendly.
So we set up our little podcast center right here. We actually brought our glass.
It's a closed nerve center, right? Exactly.
It's right here.
Right here in the front row.
And we are in the
row.
We're on A. What is this? What's seat A? Well, no, it's 1 F, E, and D.
Okay. E, F, and D.
Yeah. Well, it says F, E, and D. I don't really know. Oh, D, E, and F.
D and F, yes, makes a little more sense. A, B, and C on the other side.
So, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to get a little bit of a taste of what happens actually a little behind the velvet curtain of Southwest Air. You like that?
I like that. I love getting behind the velvet curtain.
So, Strick and I have been hanging out at Podcast Movement 17 in Anaheim, California, and we are flying back. It's very interesting, Strickland, spending a week in a hotel room with you. We have not bunked up. What do you call that?
Bunked up, I guess. We're back at camp again or something. I don't know.
We have not shacked up together in quite
not since you've been married, at least.
At least.
Don't tell your wife.
So we spent the week there, and it's interesting. I found out a whole bunch about your habits.
Like in the room or outside of the room?
In the room. Habit number 1. You stay up much later than I do.
Well, that's not like a revelation. I mean, we kind of probably knew that already.
Okay, habit number 2 is that I did not realize that you took homeopathic pills for snoring. What are those?
I didn't until I knew I was rooming with you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, seriously. I just started taking those because I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? I tried this. I got this thing that's like a strap that goes around your head and holds your chin. It's supposed to work, and it was crap. It was very uncomfortable. My wife said it didn't work all that well, and I'm like, I better find something else before I start, rooming with Doug and keep him up all night.
When I saw you put that little red ball in your mouth around the strap.
No, that's before bed.
I had no idea.
Before bed and before I kicked the hooker out. That was the little...
I had no idea what the strap with the ball was. I did understand the leather hood.
You didn't try it on, I hope.
No. So a question for you: do I have any habits that are just completely just ridiculous? Like you couldn't believe that I would do that?
So let's step back to the snore. Did I snore?
Not that kept me up. You did snore a couple times, but it was not at all disturbing. It was
good.
Yeah, my wife does not snore. We are both very. I don't think I snored, right?
No, I didn't notice. I would have slept
both very, very quiet sleepers, but I did not. You didn't snore. The couple of times that I heard you just kind of like shuffle a little bit, not enough to wake me up. So thank you for actually being a good roommate.
Sure, no problem.
So habits though, any
Well, Doug moves in and takes all the drawers immediately.
I swear, I thought there were 6 drawers.
Yeah, right.
There were three drawers.
Whatever. All the closet
space.
There were
3 drawers.
The entire shelf on the counter with all of his.
Hold on.
What are your products that you have to use?
I do have a lot of facial products.
Yeah.
Sorry, but there is it was a sham because there are 6 drawers or 6 things that look like drawers in the dresser, and it actually turned out to be 3 drawers on the left, and the right side, of course, was 3 drawers, but it was a refrigerator disguised as 3 drawers.
Exactly. I'm just giving you shit anyway. We barely wore any clothes all week anyway.
That doesn't sound good.
You know?
It's Strick.
Don't take that the wrong way, but...
You need to fix that. What are you talking about? Well, actually, we got a lot of swag at the trade show. We got a whole bunch of T-shirts. So every T-shirt that I brought, we actually did not have even a chance to. You know what? Well, you know what's interesting about the seat that we're sitting in? Everybody that goes to the bathroom, they have to walk by us.
Well, everybody that goes to the front bathroom. There are 2 bathrooms in the back also.
You know what's ridiculous about the bathroom on Southwest, especially the front one? I can't even stand up.
Yeah? And that's different from any other airline. How?
No, well, it may not different, but finally I've gotten an opportunity to talk about it. I never realized exactly how uncomfortable it is to, pardon my expression, but I have to cock my head.
I need my rim shot sound effect there.
Well, maybe you did put it in. Did you edit it in?
Oh yeah,
that was
I had
good.
it. You like that? It sounded good. It was a good timing. Yeah.
Anyway, so we spent the week at Podcast Movement, and I did get to find out a little bit about the nightly habits. Strick does stay up much later than I do. Are you? I don't even know. Did you take a shower the whole time we were here?
You know, I wasn't going to yesterday. I got busy yesterday. I was going to today. I got so freaking busy setting up and everything.
So wait,
and it's not polite to get.
We've been there 4 days, no shower.
No, I did.
One?
Yeah. First day after we were there.
Oh no, shower I think I showered like 6 times when we were here.
Well, I usually do every other day.
You do?
So I was going to today.
I don't know about that habit, Strick. I think that's one that you need to adjust. We're not in medieval times any longer. We
live 40 minutes away from each other. What do you care?
We have water. We have plenty of soap.
Some of us are busier than others. I don't have time. Don't have time for that shit.
So when you're not at home, what are the habits that you need to put aside?
Is this on our list?
No,
I'm
no,
not. Okay,
no.
so this is what do I put aside?
My phone isn't even on right now to look at the list of habits.
Not on the list of topics.
What did I want? What was I talking about?
What habits do I have to put aside when I'm not at home?
Yeah, Strick is very distracted because he's not. When you're recording from home, you have nothing to talk. You have nothing to look at, right?
Okay.
But now that everybody's passing by us,
I'm always distracted by everything. Little flies flying outside my screen window, or deer or something. I don't understand why you feel like
in my pocket.
You gave my 2 away. At the airport to somebody. I don't know who.
Well, I met 2 people in security line. I thought they would be good candidates for being fans of the show.
The TSA does not need to be distracted. I don't think you needed to give it to them.
That was not a positive TSA experience.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
yours was much quicker than I thought. It
was fast, but they were rude. They were rude.
What was rude?
It was a more holier than thou kind of like, no, you have been selected. You have been randomly selected. I didn't feel anything random was happening by somebody being pulled over in front of me. The excuse me, you've been randomly selected. Did they have to say that? Matt's ready to go.
They're trying to be polite.
He's in. So the reason that you've heard that long extended play of the Girl from Ipanema music, hey Strick, maybe you just give a little rundown of just what just occurred while we were 35,000 feet above the Grand Canyon.
So we had a very interesting interview with a Southwest employee, one of the flight attendants. Really, really good guy, but unfortunately somebody who was more senior on the flight said, that's probably not a really good idea because Southwest doesn't know exactly what you're saying, even though he was incredibly friendly and very Southwest-ish.
Yeah, and I feel like he didn't give away any secret. I mean, I did ask about the Sky Marshal.
That might have been the trigger.
He thinks. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to play all the questions I asked, but we're not actually going to provide.
There's going to be long beeps in between.
Well, what was great about it was I was holding the microphone and handing it to him, so you could play my questions, and then if I were to interview a Southwest employee, that would have been the answer to the question.
So instead, we're just going to interview like the guy that's sitting next to us.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
Exactly. Exactly. So instead, we're going to interview somebody who is not.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Do you work for Southwest Airlines?
No.
He does not work for Southwest Airlines. So would you like to talk to the nice guys on business?
Sure.
Excellent. And he talks about as much as Rick.
Are there any regulations that would prohibit you from saying anything to us?
Not that I know.
Not that you're aware of. So I just want to say something when I first got on the plane that I noticed immediately about you, and that is that you were handwriting a note. So the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is ask who you're writing the note to, and your answer was?
Right to my wife.
And I don't mean to laugh, especially since my wife may be a listener to our show. So explain this process that you go through. I mean, this. I'm not going to set it up. I'm just going to let you explain
Doug,
it. Yeah.
Would we like to have him introduce himself and get a name and find out who he is before you dive deep into his life?
You know, he reminds me a little of Jeff from our office. You know, Jeff.
Very quiet, soft-spoken,
right.
A man of few words.
I've given him 3 words, I think he said, and I haven't given him a moment to step in edgewise. So why don't I back up, give him all the room he needs.
So that's Doug. Okay. My name is Strickland, and you are?
Tom.
Tom, and what do you do, Tom?
I'm a test engineer.
A test engineer?
Oh, I thought he said a Tesla engineer.
No, a test engineer.
Damn. I love Teslas. I want to test this so bad.
And it's pretty much because Tom is a test engineer, I'm immediately understanding why he only gives 1- and 2-word answers. Not necessarily, they don't teach you that you need to learn about the people side of things when you're in engineering school, right?
Well, I can talk when I need to.
See, engineers, they choose their words very carefully. They are very precise.
Oh.
There's no need for additional, unless you're writing handwritten notes to your wife. Let's hear a little bit more about that.
Okay, Tom.
Okay.
Test engineer Tom. That's
right.
what we're going to call Tom.
Well, I picked up a contract at a company in L.A., and I fly out 2 weeks at a time, and I got this idea that I was going to pick up note cards before I go and a bunch of stamps, and I write every night to my wife, one every day, and I start mailing them. So I didn't tell her I was
Strick,
doing
do you have
this.
the theme from Love Story playing in the background as we're doing this?
So I didn't tell her I was doing this, and I kept saying, I'd call her up and say, how's it going today? Anything interesting in the mail? No? Okay, all right. And then around Thursday, she started getting them. It's like, I love this.
Oh, hold on, Tom. Test engineer Tom. So, in other words, what you're saying is you didn't tell her that you were going to actually be doing this.
She had no idea.
Is this the first time you've done this, or is this a practice that you've done through you've been married 30 years, as I understand in my talk to you, but you just said 30 years, so I'm good.
Right, yeah.
So this is the first time you've done it?
This particular thing, yeah. I take her on mystery rides once in a while, and it's a date, but she has no idea where we're going.
Tom, for the last 30 years, has handled his marriage as an experiment. so he's so you're introducing new things into your marriage.
Right.
Okay, all right, I got it.
She loves it.
That's great. I know. Yeah. I sense that you're a nice guy, and probably what you may not say in words, you do in action, right? Right, exactly.
Married for 30 years somehow. I mean, you got to keep it interesting, right?
All right, so talk about this note thing, because it's pretty cool. So keep going.
Well, I just was at the store trying to come up with some idea for my wife, and I bought her a puzzle, and then I looked around and I saw these note cards, and I said, I'm going to start writing notes to her. And so I went for 3 weeks last month, and I wrote every single day. And for 3 weeks, and about the second week, she wanted to write back. So I ended up getting a card back from her at the hotel.
So the notes that you write, are they details of, I don't mean to get in too personal, Tom, but I'm going to test engineer Tom. I'm just curious what's going on in those notes itself. But it's very hard after 30 years to continue the romance, so I'm thinking, are you telling her just activities? You're going to tell her like what you're going to do to her when you come home?
It's a range of that, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's I miss you, and then this is what happened today. It was really cool. You should have been here. I wish you were here. And then there was this stuff for like we flirted a little bit. I kind of put some
dots in there.
Yeah.
Bow chicka wow wow.
So, Tom, you said at the beginning of this when we landed the deal. So, I'm beginning to understand. Are you a consultant, or is this or you work for a bigger company, or you work on your own?
Basically, a consultant. They bought the company I work for in New Hampshire and closed it down and moved all the business out. And then about a month later, they called me up. And
Tom, those damn Japanese, they do that to every company that's out there. Was there a Japanese company that bought you out?
No, it's Canadian.
Okay. Hey? For all of our, we have some
Sneaky bastards.
We do have some sneaky bastards.
They live right above us, and man,
they
just
come
gotta
in.
keep an eye
They
on
shut down the plant. Did they? They shut the whole thing down. How many?
We had about a year to prepare for it.
Tom, how many test engineers?
No, you see, that's the different thing. We're polite about it. Like the robber barons will come in and just say, "Hey, you're shut down." The Canadians are like, here's what's going on, eh? Like, we bought the company, eh? We're going to give you, is a year enough time, okay, eh? Like, for you guys to find another job, and we just want to make sure everything's okay, eh?
Well, the Canadians, they couldn't figure out where to buy shorts, so they didn't know they gave you an entire year to slow it down, and when then you're out. So would you start your own consulting company?
No, I was just looking for work, and I was trying to get interviews, and I had a few, but nothing panned out, and they called me up, and I didn't have anything else going, so I went for it.
So the company that bought out your company hired you back as a consultant?
Right, yeah. They were having trouble.
Of course, test engineer Tom, they'd have trouble. They couldn't
replace
you. So are you making more now as a consultant than you were as an employee?
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
It does. So you were the linchpin by which they actually only wanted you. How many test engineers lost their jobs?
They wanted more, but most of the people got other jobs, and they picked up. There's probably 3 of us that they picked up from that company.
So, in other words, what made you one of the unemployable after that? They just didn't like your skill set? What happened? Why couldn't you get a job? I'm going to be a little forward here.
It is a kind of a specialized area that I do. I do circuit boards and assemblies, and there's not a lot of that going on in New Hampshire.
Strick, did you hear? I didn't understand any of that.
As soon as you get tech, Doug just hears wah, 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 wah.
Pass the rotary phone. I'm lost.
What type of circuit boards?
They bend around corners.
Wow.
They're flexible.
I think he's trying to be like it's spy stuff. Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
it goes in satellites and airplanes. Military radar, missiles, maybe.
So can you lend credence to the term military intelligence then? That was good. That was a little bit of test circuit comedy. Yeah, you were in there. Okay, so continue with the notes. So your wife is, I'm assuming she's working because you weren't bringing in enough money. Is that what happened, Tom?
She's actually off for the summer. And she works
teacher.
At the school.
Nice.
Yeah, she works at the school. The kids love her.
Of course they love her, Tom.
Right.
You know that. You know that they're going to love her. Okay.
And it was like taking a text one step beyond,
So what? How come she didn't come out with you?
I tried to get her to come out. She just wasn't feeling it.
2 weeks in California, she's got other things going on. She's got to keep the mailman happy.
I'm thinking there's got to be a mailman in this equation.
We have 2 dogs. And
of course.
She wants to be there and take care of them. And
I think Tom believes in the 2 dogs, so I'm gonna go with that. So the creative side hasn't eluded you. You do the notes, and what else have you done in the past? Have you done other fun things like that?
Yeah, I've told her to pack a suitcase and put a bathing suit in.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, and then I'll take it to a hotel for the weekend by the ocean with a pool.
That's nice.
That is definitely an engineer way to do things.
Yep. So one other thing I noticed, Tom, I got to point out, I see you wearing shorts, and I think there's one of 2 things going on here. Either you have a hydraulic leg, or you put on way too much SPF 500 sunscreen just on the one leg. Which would that be?
You burned up that motherfucker, Tom.
Hydraulic, you're right.
So it is very interesting. I wouldn't, if I knew you better, I'd clang the mic against it, but that would be really impolite. But why don't you tell me about it? Because it's really cool looking.
No, do it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, call here.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is Tom's hydraulic leg.
That's
badass.
That is.
I'm talking
So let
about.
me tell you
We're
something.
gonna get a picture of that before we
In
go.
I can't remember where I was, but recently, I think I was in D.C. somewhere, and there was a guy, and he was you're trying to see if you broke the
I want to
microphone.
make sure it's not actually a 57.
Yes.
If it's an SM57, I know it's fine, but it's a knockoff, so I want to make sure it's. I know your leg's fine.
So there was somebody that was walking in front of us, and he had I think both of his legs were not hydraulic. I don't know what I don't want to insult you, so I don't know what terminology to call it.
Might have been below the knee.
Yeah, I think it was definitely below the knee.
Like a post and,
But it was he was walking. If he wasn't wearing shorts, there would have been no way I would have been able to tell from his walk that he had any type of artificial limb at all. And it was great. It was great. How do you find getting around with it? Is it become more of an acceptable thing in society, or do you still find you get a lot of stares?
See, it doesn't bother. You know what I like about it? The kids. The kids that like. When we're sitting here and one of the kids walked by, he said, "That guy's got a robot leg."
A robot
I love
leg.
that.
A robot leg.
And then for the adults too, I think Tom probably likes wearing shorts all the time because, that's right, I'm a badass. Stay the hell. I am a badass.
So when you're feeling a little bit spirited with your wife, do you raise it maybe like 3 or 4 inches to get a little taller?
We did do this thing where we stood next to each other on one leg to see who could do it the longest, and she won. I fell into her.
Wait, she doesn't have a hydraulic leg too, does she?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah. So
She's in better shape than he is.
life changed any differently? So share the experience with.
Well, it happened because I had cancer in the year 2000, and so we decided we were going to take the leg, and because it was, I was supposed to die in 5 years after that, and somehow I get into the 20% that lived, and it's 17 years later. So
wow.
Praise God for that. And there's a tremendous life change. But what I found out is, as I went along, I could still do a lot more than I thought I could do. For example, I run a chainsaw and I cut firewood and split wood.
I don't even know how to run a chainsaw.
You could actually sharpen the chainsaw with your leg there, right? You don't even have to worry about it.
I don't have to worry about hitting this leg, right?
It's funny. When I was a kid, I did 2 days on a farm.
Yeah.
And I did chainsaws scared the shit out of me, right? They're fucking scary, right?
Right.
We had a log splitting machine that's like the hydraulic thing. And a log was kind of popping out, and I put my foot in it, and I got my foot stuck in it.
Oh.
Now, it wasn't horrible, but it was like a good slice of my foot. And I'm like, shit. I mean, that's dangerous. Now, I didn't go back to the farm after this.
I've broken fingers, toes. It happens.
Yeah.
So
we're not badasses.
No. So share how life has changed for you. Better, worse, different? Just so what things do you have to adapt to?
Well, for example, my wife and I built a relationship early on going out hiking and biking and things like that. And we don't do as much anymore. We tried to go hiking, and we found out a typical hour-and-a-half hike takes about probably 5.5 hours for me.
Really?
Yeah, so we have to plan ahead. We didn't really plan well, so it was getting late in the day. We were coming down the mountain, and I was starting to wonder, are we going to make it in time?
It's funny. Were you there when we did Vegas and we did the mountain that day?
No.
So we do Church
Well,
Vegas
I've
every
gone
year.
to the mountain, but I have not.
Well, this was when we rented a Jeep, right? And we go out and we see this mountain. And it's not huge, right? It was we could walk up to the top of that in about 15, 20 minutes, right? So okay, cool, let's go to it, right? So we walk up to the top, it's about 5 or 6 of us, and we realize the sun's starting to go down. And we're like, there is nothing out here. When the sun goes, and this wasn't just smooth dirt, it was really rocky. And we're like, in about 20 minutes, we're not going to be able to get down. It's going to be fucking pitch black. And we're like, shit, we start hauling back. The same thing, right? You were out on the mountain, and you're like, if we don't get back.
How to go so fast.
Right. And it's if we don't get back, we're not going to be able to see where we're
Then
going.
I fell.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
So I racked up my knee, my ankle. But we made it.
Obviously.
So tell me, because I'm really curious, because I've never had a conversation with someone that has had any type of artificial limb at all. tell me the mentally the limitation in your mind, because I think a lot of times it's more mind over actual physical disability.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that, and how do you get beyond that?
And when I first got the prosthetic, I didn't trust it. It was like, what I can tell you, it's like walking on a stilt, and I didn't trust it, and I fell a lot. I hardly ever fall anymore because I can feel
only when you're
balance.
drunk now.
Yeah,
only
right.
when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Matt, can we get another drink over here for our friend Tom?
It was a learning experience to really trust the leg.
Right.
And once I did that, I was fine.
And just talk about I want to know, like, what goes on in your head, like, as you're waking up in the morning. And again, if I'm getting too personal, you just tell me to shut the fuck up. But you wake up in the morning and you just tell me about the process. That obviously, I have anxiety, so for me, it's like that's now a part of my everyday. I'm wondering how it's going to affect me today, how life is going to be different today. Is it going to be different today? Is it going to be a great day? Am I going to have to Now, I can deal with it because I kind of worked a lot of things like meditation into my routine. So those things have come back to kind of, I feel like I'm stronger now as a result of having it. Talk about, like, how you go through the beginning of your day and, like, just set yourself up for your day for success.
Well, I found that I can't rush in the morning because it's all on how I put the leg on. It's a socket, and it goes on by suction, and I pull it on with an ace wrap through. And if I don't do it right, I'm going to end up with pain the rest of the day. And so I have to take my time. And that's the biggest thing, is I have to slow down and make sure I do it right the first time, or else I'm going to pay for the rest of the day.
Right.
If I do that, I'm fine. It's just a little bit more in the routine. I get up, take a shower, and put the leg on and get dressed. And so I have to allow like 30 extra minutes than I used to have to get ready. And it's just part of life now.
Now, this is a serious piece of hardware. Do you have other prosthetics, or is it just this one all the time?
I do have others. I have old legs, I call them. Every once in a while,
I got to ask this. Do you ever dress up like a pirate?
Yes, I did that. I had a peg leg. I made one.
Just do the wood.
I
know Strickland's like, don't ask the pirate question, Doug. I know where you're going, man.
I did it, and it was like a hit. I even had the costume, and it was a wooden leg, and I could walk on it. It was amazing.
Did you do the whole thing with
it?
Tom, did you do the eye patch? Did you do the eye patch?
Yes, I had that. And we went to this house, and it was a house in the yard. The stick started poking into the ground. I was like, I'm sinking.
Tom, it's only meant for hardwooden decks. So then one day you're maybe hoping to get the hook for the arm also? No, you probably don't want that.
I think, like, if you go to a Halloween costume contest, dude, that dude is committed right there.
I won, yeah.
Oh, that is great. So,
but you got old ones, right? But, like, you wear this one all the time just because it's the most functional.
Getting back to that, what I do is I use those for swim legs. So if I ever want kayaking, we go kayaking in Revan. There's a rope swing, and I love it. I used to do flips and gymnastics, and so I'll wear my old leg, and I don't care if I get it wet.
Kind of like when I'm playing a gig, my old guitars, I don't care if they get beat up. And
kind of like when I go to Hookers and I have to replace my. No. That's a whole different. It's a whole different thing.
I'm glad your wife doesn't listen to this podcast.
So a couple more questions. Cost. What would?
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Like this leg, if I bought it outright,
I bought it on the black market.
It was probably about a $50,000 leg.
Wow. No shit.
It's more than a
$50,000.
I'm looking at this thing.
It's like there's no machinery in there, but there's probably a lot of machinery.
A lot of it is the crafting of the socket, and then the parts.
Is this metal? What is this made out of? This is the
fiber.
Carbon fiber. Okay.
And there's a plastic poly socket inside.
Okay.
And the hydraulic is expensive. Everything is expensive because it has to be FDA approved.
And it's completely one-off design. Everyone is probably
Even this
very
little-
custom made.
This little abutment. They call it a big dog something.
That
I
gives
don't
you
know.
that
A
gives you
bulldog
that gives
or-
you your height. That gives you your height.
Right. I used to have the bent ski, but it didn't really do anything for me, so I like this now. Looks pretty rugged.
So, Tom, with every hydraulic leg, is a sneaker included? Or are those extra?
the foot is. They actually take a measurement of your other foot, and they give you a foot.
I would
chose
hope
not to get the covering.
I would. Oh, so
You can get a covering for this whole thing, and you wouldn't.
Oh
even
no,
hardly-
it's much cooler like that.
Yeah,
You kind of look
that's
a
the
little
way I
like
like it.
Terminator. You
Right,
know, the
yeah.
guys out of Terminator.
Exactly.
When you go into a shoe store, I just got to ask: do you ask for a discount or
No, but you know
half
what's funny
off?
is I only wear one sock at a time.
That's
'Cause
that's
this
true.
One sock stays on there.
That sock's looking kind of dirty though, Tom. You better change
My
that.
Christmas list, I asked for one slipper.
I gotta let you know. You can only make these jokes with a guy that actually is very comfortable in, you know, if the shoe were on the other foot, Tom. So just going with every cliche.
Our listeners, you can't see, but I am shaking my head a lot, again and again.
And we are totally not laughing at Tom, and Tom knows completely that we are totally laughing with him. He is really enjoying the conversation. From a weight perspective,
That's a good question.
yeah, I'm curious. Well, before you talk about the artificial leg, after you had the surgery, you notice how much weight you automatically lost?
Yes, it was about 15 pounds.
So
My
below
leg was
the
about
knee,
15 pounds.
below the knee,
Yeah.
below the knee equals about 15.
About the knee. It was the
Oh.
foot all the way through the knee.
All right, so
It was-
interesting. Now, where did you actually have cancer? Where was your cancer in
It
your?
was in the calf.
Okay, and how did they determine where? Like, I'm sure that probably the choice would have been I would have loved to have had it be below the
Well,
knee, right?
Actually, I had it a below the knee amputation, and 3 months later, we found out that they weren't far enough away from the margin. So we decided to go above the knee. So I actually had 2 amputations.
Yeah.
And I was actually already fitted with a below the knee prosthetic. I think I still have it at home. And I was even running.
Did
No,
that
I can't run on this one.
Did that come as disappointment to you when they realized that they had to go higher
You know
up?
what? I think my wife took it harder than me. I tell you, it was a big difference losing the knee, though.
Yeah. And
It
how
was a
so?
big
How so?
difference
How so?
Because you don't realize how much your knee does. And when it's not there, you have to drive the leg instead of having the knee work it.
Would you encourage anyone to do this just as to try to lose weight?
Oh, no.
Probably not. Probably not a good idea.
Still shaking my head. Continuing to shake my head.
Just to give you the narrative, nice guy community. I'm sitting in the aisle seat. Strick is in the middle, and test engineer Tom is sitting on the window side. Every time I launch a question, Strick backs up and starts shaking.
And then I try to flag Matt down and go, Matt, can I have another beer or 5 or 6?
Starts shaking his head about, do not ask any more questions.
Just wrap, just finish. But I can't even give Doug that signal because test engineer Tom is on the other side of me. So it's not like I could sneak some signal when Tom's not going to see. So
can I tell you
we're
something?
just stuck.
This has been okay. So we have I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. We have interviewed some pretty high up people, but I've got to tell you,
Brian Williams from ABC News.
Dan Harris, but
I'm sorry, Dan Harris.
sorry,
God,
sorry, Dan.
Harris.
But some real. You don't even have to
Ariana
drop any
Huffington?
names. Doesn't matter. You don't have to drop any
Gary
names.
Vaynerchuk. Big names.
I would have to say, is probably my most favorite interview that I have done.
I'm glad.
You know who Jeffrey Hayes? Not Jeffrey
No.
Hayes. Jeffrey
Gettimer.
Gettimer.
Nobody knows everybody. You see it now.
You're not in the sales. That's okay.
He's an engineer. He's not going to know
he's
anybody
not
we
a sales
know.
guy. Okay, never mind.
He's
Sorry.
so much smarter. He's so much at a different level than we would ever be at. Oh my gosh! But yeah, this is by far. I mean, obviously, I am crying.
Yeah, you're having a good time.
Oh
That's
gosh,
good.
it is good. Strick, you have any questions, Strick? I
I think you've asked them all, Doug. Don't think we need to ask anymore, actually. We definitely need to get a picture with Tom. Test engineer
Oh
Tom.
yeah, we've got to. You know what? We're gonna put the Southwest, and we're gonna.
We got to put Southwest logo.
Maybe
on
we
the
can
back.
underline it with the hydraulic leg.
Oh, cool.
That would be great. Wouldn't that be great?
Would be cool. We are the nice guys on prosthetics today.
Jeez. All right.
We're not allowed to be the nice
how
guys on
far into this
Southwest,
interview? How
apparently.
far are we?
Well, we're 26 minutes in, and
Plus-
we have at least 10 minutes from our first interview.
Let me just say this to the flight attendants at Southwest. We really liked having you on the show, and we're not playing anything that we said. But test engineer Tom was much better than you could have ever been. So
We don't need you guys. It's all right.
we're not actually allowed to. You got to.
Yeah, he's got cooler toys than you guys.
Yeah.
Although this is a pretty cool toy that we're in. I got to admit,
This is a brand.
Yeah.
This is a brand new airplane. Oh, there's like a stamp. Well, how long? Are you allowed to answer the question
That's what I
about
was just thinking.
how much a vehicle like this costs? Any idea? You have no idea? Oh, probably shouldn't share that. Okay.
Are we allowed to ask you non-Southwest questions, just like shooting the shit in plane, or like we don't want to get you in trouble, but like we love talking to you guys.
You know what? I'm going to ask the question, and I'll look at them, and I will determine the answer that they were going to say.
Nod
Okay,
yes or
so
nod
so go ahead.
no.
So here's how it is.
Oh, okay.
They are not allowed to Southwest. I completely
so wait a
understand.
minute. This is like when you do an interview and you can't play it.
Right.
This is like the claymation
Yeah.
reanimation of it, right?
So here's the deal. So
I get to be Matt, right?
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so on Southwest, and I completely understand they have a legal department, and legal probably says now they are not telling us this. I'm interpreting some of this that they probably can't answer the questions that we're asking, and that's because I'm thinking because of their legal department.
Right. Okay.
So ask them a question. I'll look at them, and then I will determine what the answer is based. They don't even need to actually be.
No, because you were asking a lot of the questions of Matt before.
You're right.
I think what we should do is
Ask
we can't actually air that interview.
Right.
But you ask me the same questions. I'll give you the same answers that Matt gave.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, can you
And
do
by
it?
the way,
Can
this
you,
is Can
can you do it with a nice guy spin on it, though? No, you have to ask the question. I will give you the better.
No, you ask the
Okay.
question. You ask me the questions. Like,
So
what did you ask about that was a little
I
sensitive
got
before?
it. So my question is, as a flight attendant, as you are speaking over the loudspeakers and you are actually engaging with your cabin full of people, is there any like certain regulations that you need to stick to in order to say the words that you're going to say? I'm looking at them. I'm looking for an answer, and you say what, Strickland?
Fuck off.
All right. So.
We get to say whatever the hell we want, all right?
All right. So.
Haven't you noticed that? How many times have you been on Southwest flights before? Come on. Can't you tell? We say whatever the hell we want.
And I'm sensing that is exactly not the answer that they probably would have given us.
Okay, yes, I should say right up front, because,
Yes.
by the way,
Yes.
we love Southwest. And so
Totally.
that is absolutely 100% not the answer that Matt gave. But that's our nice guy reinterpretation. I
So-
don't want to get anybody in Southwest or anybody that thinks they're in Southwest in trouble. This is the joke version. We're setting up the gag. Let's put it that way.
Follow-up question is this. I noticed that there are 4 flight crew that are on the what is this?
Airplane?
737.
Boeing 737.
Right. Oh, 737 A country.
A country.
But I don't notice that I see an air marshal. So my question is there an air marshal on this flight? So I'm looking at them,
Yeah,
trying
he's
to
sitting in
determine an
4C right
answer.
now.
And
He's
you're
in 4C right now.
Oh.
You want to go introduce him? Here, I'll ask him to pull his gun out for you and show it to you.
she might be the air marshal right behind us.
No, I'm telling you. I know exactly who he is. He's in 4C. I can tell you. In fact, you know what? His gun is right on.
You're not allowed. You should not make any jokes like that.
I know I should.
So my next question would be
then
this:
I really am going to get them in trouble.
What I really would need to understand the inner workings of the cockpit, but I can't see it. Could you just open the door so I could see it?
Oh, yeah. Let me go unlock that for you right now.
He's going easily. Uh-oh.
As David goes up. No, he's not really going to open the
So.
cockpit.
I need to ask a question a little bit about flight attendant
Hey, Doug?
fashion.
Have you ever seen a Gladiator movie?
I want to ask a question about
You ever seen a grown man
flight
naked?
attendant fashion, because I noticed that one of our flight attendants, let's just call him, hypothetically, his name is David.
Oh, by the way, guy, are we allowed to say your name? Like, we really don't want to get you in trouble. Should we not say your names? We can say them and beep them out.
Oh, that's right. Let's do that.
We'll
Okay.
beep 'em out.
We're going to be...
We're big on beeping stuff out.
Say it again. Oh, yeah. He won't say.
We can say
he's
it.
not... Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I
Just
don't-
like I can return, I can
That's
say
true.
the answers that they didn't actually say. Okay, got
Very
it.
true. Very true.
Okay, good, fair enough.
Sometimes...
So what was the question?
So the
Fashion.
Yeah. So I want him to be able to hear the question, though, so...
Oh, okay.
To wait for all
Sure.
of the other patients to go sit down.
We're the only important people on the flight.
So I noticed that one of the flight attendants, his name is David, actually is he's wearing a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks good.
It's a sharp
I
shirt.
mean, it's a sharp shirt.
It is. It's
And-
like what do they call that? It's the blue and white, the check. What is it called? That pattern.
Gingham, I think.
That's a gingham, right.
And-
He doesn't have the collars buttoned down. Like they have buttons. You can see the holes. I don't know if that's the style.
I
now,
would
like the button
consider
holes, but not buttoned down. I have no
David
idea.
more of the metrosexual among the two of them.
He's a stylish
so
looking
he's the
guy.
guy that goes out to the stores. He's shopping on the weekends. He's not watching football. He's in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Now Matt, on the other hand, he's a Redskins fan. I know. Yeah,
Oh,
he's happy to be a. He's gonna take. Oh, he's a Giants fan.
Giants fan.
A Giants fan.
And they let
Big
you
time.
guys be on flights together? What's up with that? Yeah, okay. We'll let it slide on this.
So I also noticed that Matt, very clean shaven, kind of clean cut guy. You know, definitely more of very comfortable around his mom. Let's just say that.
He's got the epaulets on the shoulders too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of cool.
A little members only retro look he's got going on. David, though, I don't think he shaved in a few days, but I think that look works for him. He's got the cool frames.
Yeah.
You know that he has a partner in every port that he goes to.
Are those Warby Parker frames?
No, I don't think those are Warby Parker.
Those aren't Warby Parkers.
But I
He's
get
a
the
partner in every port.
I get the feeling
What are you trying
that
to
David
say?
lands and he connects at every airport that we go to. Look, he's like,
what a good wife you would
he's
be.
going.
'Cause my life, my love, and my lady is the air. I'm sorry.
You were singing Brandy.
Well, it was the air, not the sea.
Wait, who is Brandy? It's Looking Glass, isn't it?
Great song. Great song.
So where we might have more of the lover, we have the fighter over here, I think, in Matt.
And we're not allowed to say
lover.
What they no. I said we're not allowed to say. I was going back to the previous question of David having a partner in every port.
Yeah,
he's not allowed to talk.
But he did not.
I saw a smile, a little tiny, like could be, could be. He's a good-looking guy. I could see he would have no problem.
Absolutely, we totally don't want to get him in trouble. So what we're actually going to do is every time we actually even mention his name, I think we should just beep it out.
You think?
I do, because, Nice Guy Community, they might know where we have been, but Southwest has no idea where we've... Well, they know that...
Good point. And look at the shoe.
Oh, we could give it... He wants to... It's like the Witness Protection Program. We should call them different names.
Okay, so every time we say the name David, you're going to hear like all the noise and everything in the background, right? And then there's going to be like total silence. Let's say, John. And then we'll just drop it in over top every time.
To protect the
innocent. I think. Or, in David's case, not so innocent, maybe. We're trying.
Hey, I think we should wrap this. I mean, this is like a cast of characters
We're
we have.
only 34 minutes in, plus the 10 minutes from the first part of the other. We should wrap it up.
You know what I'm thinking?
I think we've embarrassed them enough.
Let me go to the
note. Flight again. We're going to be like, I'm sorry, you're on the no-fly list, but just for Southwest. That's strange. I've never seen that before.
You know, let me look at the topics that we said that we were. Oh, wait a minute. This not these.
We still have a Thursday show to do.
I know, that's very true. We'll. No, we did didn't we do a show already?
No.
Are you sure we didn't do one as we were seated at?
Oh, did we? Was that the Thursday? No, we just did our intros.
Are you sure we didn't do another show?
No, I'm not sure at all. It could be.
I think we did. I think we did Tuesday's show already.
No, because we didn't have enough time. We only did our intros. We only had like 20 minutes total before boarding.
I don't know, Strick.
We didn't.
I think we. Oh no, you're right. We did the show and then we were told we can't air any of it.
Well, right. We did the first half with our interview with Matt. who's also, name shall be changed to protect the innocent.
This has been one of the most fun episodes that we have possibly ever recorded. Definitely one of the most inspiring episodes that we ever have due to
Test Engineer Tom.
Test Engineer Tom. And this is still the nice guys on Southwest.
Yeah. Or the nice guys on prosthetics. If Southwest will not let us use their logo. Well, they have to let us use the heart, right? Like, you can't.
No, we can use the heart.
Yeah. Are we going to be the nice guys on Southwest? I don't want to piss them off, though.
I don't think we're going to piss them off.
I love Southwest.
We can do the unauthorized podcast.
Oh, so it'll be like a little crayon, like unauthorized nice guys on Southwest.
I love it. We can do that.
Not endorsed by Southwest Airlines.
All right, so we didn't do a speed read of the topics. So you want to end this episode by doing the speed read of the topics for Thursday's show?
We could do
I
that.
can find them. They're right
You
here.
gonna pull them up?
There's a lot of them. They're more sentences.
Well, sometimes you get a lot of details in each
Yeah,
one. I
you
usually
might-
just do the quick
yeah.
version. I'll see if I can get through the speed read quickly without the details. Okay. Okay, we ready?
Oh, you ready already?
I'm always ready to do the
All
speed
right, so
read of the topics.
this is going to be the speed read of the topics for
to tease the Thursday show.
There's some passengers coming up. They're creating a ruckus.
Excuse me, we're trying to record a podcast here. Okay, I know you're trying to get to your destination or go to the bathroom or whatever the hell it may be
just
you're
wanted
doing.
Just wanted peanuts. That's all he was looking for.
Okay, take your
Just-
peanuts and go
just
back
wanted
into steerage.
some
Okay,
peanuts.
we're here in first class in the front row of our Southwest flight.
Okay, let's do it. Do the speed read of the topics, and then we're going to come back on Thursday's show, and we will actually work towards maybe at least one of them.
At least one of them?
Yeah,
You think?
at least one.
All right, we'll give it a shot. You ready?
Okay, yep, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. I look for proof of the power of story. People love details and visualization. Testimonials about this episode. Show me more of the range. Special podcast will disappear after week. Nice guys. Certified shout-outs. Take a package for today. Who wants to be mayor of a Facebook community? That's funny. I like that. No more guilt for Patreon. Who wants to be the mayor of Facebook community? I love that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish I'd seen that ahead of time. That's a great topic.
That is a great topic.
We'll talk about it Thursday. I guarantee you we're going to get to who wants to be the mayor of Facebook because I want to hear about it.
Was that it?
I think that's it.
All right, good. Nice guy community. Never underestimate the power of nice. Special thanks to the crew here at Southwest and test engineer Tom and his wife for allowing us. Do you think he actually will listen to this episode?
Yeah,
Do you think you'll ever listen to another episode after this one?
probably. I like you guys.
We got him full too.
That is crazy.
That makes 4 listeners now.
That is. We picked up 2. Wait,
5 if
hold
his
on.
wife listens.
We picked up 2 in the. Oh, Matt's
And
gonna.
Matt's
gonna
listen?
Hey,
Not his real name. And David will be listening in between.
no, in
Never mind, we're not
between
gonna talk about
lovers, he's gonna be listening. he's very busy. Very busy. Might not have enough time to listen to a podcast. Yes.
You can fit it in?
Oh, I love it. This is good.
damn.
You know what? Here's what I
Nice.
Here's what I think we should.
So he
okay.
knows what we're doing.
Okay, so
Broadcast
here's
manager.
what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Not as a Southwest employee, but as a regular old citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that David, who's not his real name, David would actually be a really good guest on the show.
You think?
I mean, and we don't even have to talk about Southwest shit.
Right.
We could talk. What
He'll
what,
be the
all-
mystery guest. Mystery guest David
Off the
works
all-
for.
All right, off the record though, David. If we didn't talk about Southwest, what subjects would you say would be really good ones for you? Probably going to say I like talking
And
about.
David, since we can't actually air what David is saying, he's going to talk and I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
His answer right now is
He's going to talk about Selena Gomez.
David says there's so many interesting things
Oh,
to
sports.
talk about.
I'm going to be out of that conversation completely. No,
Cars.
I'm going to be out of that one also. Traffic. Yeah, we live in D.C. We could probably talk about that as well. All right.
You remember that whole most interesting interview thing? No, Tom's still got it.
Tom's got it.
Test
Tom's
engineer
got it.
Tom still has
Now,
it.
David, God forbid you could actually lose a leg. We could get you in on this one. We could get you. No,
David, could you do me a favor? Could you get your leg amputated so you could make yourself more interesting? No, we're not going to ask that.
No, that's so horrible.
No, it's
so bad.
Worse than your questions earlier? I don't think so.
Just remember, I spent 20 minutes talking to Mar, 20 minutes talking about Tamar, insulting her. You only
in
used
one
one
word,
word.
I-
You undid.
That's a previous episode. I'll have to put the reference to that in the
You
show notes. I don't
undid
remember what episode it is.
everything
One word I say.
that
and
I
it's
did
over.
wrong. All right, so
We're going to wrap this thing up.
so much for having a very quiet podcast.
Quick episode, right?
All right, nice guy community. Oh, we already done all that stuff. We are out of here. Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
Are you sure the legal department cleared this? Okay then. For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Hey, if these bozos want to get sued, that's their business. Leave me out of it. Wait, we have a legal department? I just want to tell you all good luck. We're all counting on you.